Hello and welcome into this week's edition of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Rewind Show. I'm Garth Allen. This is Racing News Now. And today we're going to talk about the Fr8 208 from the Atlanta Motor Speedway, race number 3 of the 2023 Craftsman Truck Series season. And this one was a race. I don't know if I can say it was a good race, but I also don't know if I can say it was a bad race. It's New Atlanta. It's what we've come to expect from New Atlanta. It's mini Daytona for the most part. There was a lot of excitement happening in this race, but there was a lot of questionable things happening in this race that made me scratch my head and go, why did we change this track again? But never mind that. We're going to talk about all that in the Rookie Stripes podcast this week. Today, we are just breaking down what happened in this race. And there was a lot of cautions to talk about in this race, as we really shouldn't be surprised that there are, given that it is New Atlanta. And again, that is part of the racing at New Atlanta. Love it or hate it, that's part of the new racing at New Atlanta. So let's start off very early in this race. Lap number 25. Caution comes out for an incident between teammates from Tricon Garage, the 1 of Lane Riggs and the 15 of Tanner Gray. As we come down the front stretch here, 3 Tricon trucks in a row. Gray jumps to the outside, and I don't know if Riggs just thought he was jumping out there for a move and he was going to push him or what happened there, but Gray took a run and kind of filled the hole, and Riggs jumps up a little too late. I don't know if you can fully pin the blame for that on Lane Riggs, because that's your teammate behind you in the early laps. Why would the thought even cross your mind that he's going to make a move on you and just dump you out like that? He's your teammate, and it's early laps. So while I get how people think that 100% should be on Lane Riggs, and I do agree that a lot of the blame probably is on Lane Riggs and his inexperience, but at the same time, I don't know that Tanner Gray should have necessarily been that aggressive that early in the race. So it's two sides to the same coin here. You can put the blame on whoever you want to here, but it's just a racing incident, and it's the product of racing at New Atlanta. Stage 1 came down to a 1-lap battle after that caution for the stage win. Zane Smith on the inside, Christian Eckes on the outside. Eckes pushed by Grant Enfinger. Zane Smith pushed by Matt DiBenedetto on the inside line. Both of them getting really good pushes here as we come down the backstretch. Half a lap left. Eckes is a little squirrely, getting a big push from Enfinger. He's still got a nose out in front here. DiBenedetto has fallen off of Zane a little bit, but they are still side by side off of turn 4, coming to the green and white checkered. And Christian Eckes is going to pick up the stage win by a nose over Zane Smith. Yet another stage win for Christian Eckes on the 2023 season. He has had a very strong start to this season. Now we jump forward to a few laps to the caution at lap number 83 for a series of unfortunate events for Corey Heim and the 11 truck of Tricon. Not a great day for Tricon Garage, as they had some fast trucks, but they had a lot of bad luck, as well as we saw from the early incident. Now Corey Heim having his bad luck for the day. He's come down for a pit stop under this caution. As we see him pull out of his pit, he is going to run right into the 9 truck of Colby Howard and spins Colby Howard nose to nose with Stuart Friesen. That would not be the last of the bad luck for Corey Heim under this caution. As we go green to come out of this caution, the 2 of Nick Sanchez, I'm not sure what happens here. He doesn't go, though. Corey Heim trying to not get into him, gets shoved from behind. Everybody wanting to go on the restart and gets shoved right into that 38 truck and destroys the 11 truck. Corey Heim comes out on the worst possible end of this. And unfortunately, that right there would end the day for Corey Heim. I don't know if Sanchez missed a shift here or what exactly happened, but he did not go whatsoever on this restart. And everybody stacks up, and Corey Heim ends up being the meat in the sandwich there, and unfortunately destroys that truck and would be the end of his day. Now we jump ahead, 23 laps to go in the race. Battle for the lead, Jack Wood, John Hunter Nemechek. They come off turn 2. Nemechek giving a push to the 51 of Jack Wood, and that gets him squirrely off of turn 2 and turns him around from the lead. Doesn't get hit by anybody. See the 19 of Christian Eckes just sneaking by there on the inside. Grant Enfinger sliding down to the inside as well. As we get another look at it here, in just a moment here in slow-mo off of turn 2. Wood sideways in front of the entire field. I don't know how nobody got a piece of him. You see Eckes just sneaking by there, almost involved in that one. End-finger spinning back there as well. I believe he got turned by the 98 of Majeski, but that incident could have been much, much bigger than it was. Lucky for a lot of drivers that they were not involved in that one. Unlucky, though, for Jack Wood. Now let's jump a couple more laps ahead to lap 124, and yet another incident to throw the caution for. The 42 of Carson Hocevar up along the wall. I'm not really sure what happened to him here, but he is up riding the wall. His teammate, Lawless Allen, gets into the back of him, and Matt Crafton just nowhere to go, piles into the back of the 45 truck of Lawless Allen, and that is just another very unfortunate incident, as nowhere to go for the 88 truck, and nowhere to go really for the 45 truck either. And I'm still not even really sure what happened to Carson Hocevar there to put him into the wall. Yet 3 trucks taken out in this wreck. We would have one more caution for a single truck spin from Carson Hocevar that would end up putting this race into overtime. And now we head to overtime, and let's watch these final 2 laps of this race as it got crazy on the last 2 laps. Christian Eckes, Nick Sanchez restarting side by side for the overtime restart. Yes, Nick Sanchez is back into this race after his spin a little bit ago. Ben Rhodes pushing Christian Eckes, John Hunter Nemechek pushing Nick Sanchez down into turn 1 for the penultimate time in the Fr8 Auctions 208. Both of them giving very good pushes to the 19 and the 2. They are neck and neck off of turn 2. Sanchez has a bit of an advantage off of 2, but Eckes is coming back here down the backstretch. Nemechek has fallen off of the 2 just slightly. That gives Eckes enough room to get into the lead. Rhodes cannot clear yet, though. He does slide up, clears himself in front of the 2 of Sanchez. Off of 4, white flag in the air. Sanchez jumps to the inside. Now, he gets a run here on the inside. I thought this might be a mistake, as Eckes did not go down to block. Sanchez gets right back in front of him here off of turn 2. Nemechek still pushing. Sanchez slides up in front of Eckes. Half a lap remaining. Big push from Rhodes to Eckes. He gets him to the outside. Rhodes tries to make a move. Eckes slides up to try and block him. Big crash behind them. Caution is out. Eckes in front at the moment of caution, just barely over Nick Sanchez, and Christian Eckes picks up win number 2 in the Craftsman Truck Series. A big, big win for him, his first since moving to McAnally Hilgeman Racing at the start of this season. I told y'all from the very beginning of this season, he looked like a new driver this season in that 19 truck. He has had speed everywhere he has gone. He has been a contender for the win every single race this season. He's won multiple stages now, and he finally has picked up a win. This will not be his last win this season. I promise you that. This is a multi-win season for Christian Eckes. He will pick up a bunch of wins this season. So let's take a look at the rest of your results from this race. As we already mentioned, Christian Eckes picking up the win in this one, his first win of 2023. He led 32 laps early on, the first 32 laps of the race en route to that Stage 1 victory, but then never led another lap until those final 3 laps of the race, the most important 3 laps of the race for Christian Eckes, taking home the victory. Not only is this his first win of the season, but it's the first win for McAnally Hilgeman Racing in the Truck Series. So a big win for Bill McAnally and that entire team. Great to see them get into victory lane. Bill is a fantastic guy. We've talked to him in the past here on RNN. Fantastic person. Love to see him being successful with this truck program and getting into victory lane. Like I said earlier, this isn't going to be the last win for him and Eckes this season. They are going to go on a tear this season. Eckes may very well win the championship this season. I'm not going to full on right now commit to that, but he is going to be in the conversation right down to the end of this season. I can already tell by how he has started this season. This is going to be a fantastic season for Christian Eckes. Nick Sanchez, a great finish in the 2nd position. So close to that win. Sanchez is going to win some races this season, too. He has had speed every single race so far this season with those KBM-aligned Chevys underneath him in that Rev Racing truck. He is going to pick up some wins this season. He is going to be in the conversation for a while this season as well. John Hunter Nemechek came home in the 3rd position in that 17 truck for Tricon. Bailey Curry, great run for him. Shout out to Bailey Curry in the 4th position fantastic run for that 41 team. Ben Rhodes rounds out the top 5. Rest of your top 10, Matt DiBenedetto, Chase Purdy. Top 10 for Timmy Hill in 8th. Matt Crafton and Jack Wood rebounded from that late spin for a top 10 finish in the 10th position. Point standings following the Fr8 208 from Atlanta. 3 races into the season, Christian Eckes moves to the top of the playoff grid now with 7 playoff points and that 1 win over Zane Smith's 6 playoff points. Matt Crafton currently leads everyone in on points, but Christian Eckes does lead the overall points now in that chase for the regular season championship. Ty Majeski and Ben Rhodes, the rest of your top 5 in points. Enfinger, DiBenedetto, Purdy, Hocevar, and Tanner Gray all in playoff positions at the moment. Tyler Ankrum, Corey Heim, Nick Sanchez, the first 3 out at the moment. That's your point standings following the Fr8 208 from Atlanta. 3rd race of the season for the Craftsman Truck Series in 2023. And I believe that'll do it for us on this Rewind show. No Xfinity Rewind this week. Just don't have time to do it, especially since it immediately followed this race. But we will have a Rookie Stripes podcast this week. Look for the audio version out Monday night or Tuesday sometime. Probably Tuesday, but I'll try to get it out Monday night if I can. And then the video version, as usual, will be out here at 6 p.m. on Wednesday right here on RNN. So come hang out for that in the live chat and discuss everything with us that happened this week at Atlanta and the F1 race at Saudi Arabia. So we'll have a lot to talk about this week. As we've already seen from today's truck and Xfinity races, there is a lot to talk about this week. So you will want to be there for that to hear what Tyler and I thought of everything that happened this weekend. But at that, I think that's going to do it for us. So that has been the Craftsman Truck Series Rewind Show. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.